What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the P-Bandai high-grade TR-6 Hyzenthlay 2 from Advanced Zeta, the Flag of Titans. Now, this thing is the core Gundam in regular size. Why do I say that? Let's rotate it to the back to see. Now, this thing, even though it has peculiar feet and all that kind of stuff, let's pan the camera back a little bit just to get the true height of this thing, because this thing is gigantic for a high grade, let me tell you that. So this thing does look pretty good, accurate to the line art, and I really do not like the face. Like, that's just my taste. It is accurate to the line art as well, but I do prefer the Xeon spec of the Hyzenthlay 2 more than the regular Hyzenthlay, if you're not talking about the raw version, that is. And here is the reason why I said this thing is like the core Gundam, but in proper scale. So let me grab a flashlight and tell you guys what I mean. Now here is basically the woundward's legs. However, it is reconstructed with new parts. So the actual leg right there is the woundward leg, but the parts on the sides, they are new parts. So you cannot purge the armor and recreate a woundward of your own. But yeah, this is basically the woundward kneeling inside of this leg gear right here, just like the core Gundam. So if you want to imagine what the core Gundam will look like with a proper scale Gundam, this is what it looks like right here. And of course, you have the gigantic booster flaps over here, the stationary shark head over here. This is a completely new shark head for this thing, but the turtle shell is the same as the woundward. Everything is just, man, oh my god. This thing is hard to handle just because of its sheer weight. And yeah, I'm actually surprised at how this thing holds up. Like, of course, it does struggle on land to stand up, but that's due to the design of it being a space mobile suit. It's not intended to be on land. But I'm surprised because it holds up pretty well. The original TR-6 actually has a floppy top. This thing doesn't, even though it has all of these things on the back, because the drum frame is reconstructed with new parts. So it doesn't have just a circular peg, and I could actually bear to take this off because it's supposed to. It has a square peg over here. So this thing is not going to flop about anytime soon. Not a single bit. Like, the only thing that's going to flop about is probably the legs, just because, yeah, as I did say, this is not supposed to be on land, but you can display it on land. So for the stickers, of course you do have all the sensors. So for the long camera over here, the eyes, the sensors on the shark head, and of course that fell off. And then the sensors over here. Pretty much all the metallic green that appears on this model is a freaking sticker. So yeah, it's normal. And then of course the V over here. That's it. And the Titan spec colors, I'm not really too big of a fan of it. I would prefer the white, but I did order the Hyzenthlay 2 raw, so that is not too much of a problem. Somebody preferred the Titan spec, somebody preferred the white spec. It's all up to your taste, but I'm not too big of a fan of the Titan spec. Either way, it is color accurate, and it looks fantastic. Articulation wise, you're not going to get much out of the Hyzenthlay 2. So first of all, it has just a single jointed head, so you're not going to get any funky chicken in this rabbit over here, because Hyzenthlay is a rabbit. Rotation, just about it. And before it starts to collide with the shoulder, you're not gonna get much. You're not even gonna get a full rotation 360. So yeah, that's just about it. The arms over here, they can rotate all the way around. They can go out that far. The shoulders can move at the top joint for the transformation, but the lower joint over here can actually move slightly. So altogether, you can get it to raise its arm. Pretty nice. Rotation above the elbow. Bend at the elbow. Where is the freaking elbow on this thing? Because it does have a bend on the top. It does have a double joint on the bottom. So technically, this thing does have a 180 bend. And then it does have a rotation here, but it's more for the transformation more than anything else. And then you do have a rotating peg over here on the wrist, but it does also have a knuckle joint, so it's not all lost for the wiggling. And the cannons here, they can only rotate here and then rotate at the cannon base over here. They cannot tip forward, unlike the version on the SDG Generations Genesis, I think. Version display, the cannons can tip down on that game, but they cannot replicate it in this kit, unfortunately. The waist, obviously you're gonna get nothing because it is a square peg. Thank God, because that is the compromise for this, the stability of this thing. And then the waist skirts over here, they are connected all together, so the only points of articulation is going to be the double joint inside of the waist mechanic, but that is more for the transformation more than anything else, so they are not really supposed to move in mobile suit mode. And then the turtle shell over here, this is still the wound where it's turtle shell, so you can flop about, move up and down. That's about it. It's obstructed by the roof. And the legs over here, they always fall off, so they do have a rotation at the thigh over here. And your forwards, you're not going to get too much due to the obstructions of the front skirts. They cannot really move out of their way. Towards the back, there's a lot of it because there's no real back skirt kind of getting in the way. Out to the side, pretty good. And a single joint at the knee, but the joint is more for facilitating the transformation over here. So you're not going to get too much out of the Hyzenthlay knee. So the feet, you have this teeny tiny feet over here that you can move up and down. The feet itself, you can rotate side to side. This thing over here, you can move on a double joint, just so you can have some prongs to prop it up. And of course, if you want the feet to be more exposed, you can slide this thing down. But that means the stability is going to be all over the place. So no, I'm not going to do that. So as for posability, you're not going to get too much out of the Hyzenthlay 2, no matter whether you're on ground or in space. It is just going to topple over. But anyways, articulation on this guy is what I expected. Not a lot, but still usable. For accessories, the only thing that it comes with is the composite shield booster. Now, this is the same thing that we saw from the Woundwarts and the Hazel 2 TR-6. So there's nothing really too special about this thing. Of course, it does have the scope that can flip up during crow mode. You have the fin over here that can move, and then you have the complex mechanic over here that can actually move. And that's about it. So for stickers, you have the sensor, metallic green sensor over here, and the blade. The blade, first of all, the blade, they do actually cover the tip over here, which is nice, so you do not get the blue right in front of the tip. But due to my bad sticker work, it looks poor. But it looks poor nonetheless because it has to fold over very narrow surfaces, so I would recommend you guys paint it more than stickering. But I'm just a lazy bastard. That's who I am. But how to hold it, it's basically the same as the Woundwort. So you grab the holding hands that it comes with. It does also have a knuckle joint. And you just crack the hand open over here. Move the mechanic out of the way. Flip out the handle over here. And just kind of tuck this thing in and have him hold it. So here you have it, the Hyzenthlay 2 holding the composite shield booster. But if you do not want it to hold it, there are two alternatives. So first of all, you can transform the composite shield booster into its crow mode. So for those of you guys who are watching this as their first Gundam TR-6 video, I'm going to show you guys how to transform this thing into crow mode because it's not really that complex that I do not want to take the time to do it on camera. There goes everything. So basically you take off these two pieces right here, take off the entire thing, take off the blade. It's supposed to flip back in the actual specs, but unfortunately you cannot replicate it in the model. Shift the barrel down here and then rip off this entire mechanism. And what you do is take off these armor pieces on the legs over here and put them back onto these other legs. Reattach them back onto the composite shield booster and you raise the sensor. So as for this thing, you actually take off this piece right here and then you bring in the wire that it comes with. It's a relatively shorter wire than what was on the Woundwort and the TR-6 Hazel 2. I think, but it's still a wire nonetheless, and it fits on way better than the other two. As for what it feels like, at least, you just reattach it on to the shield booster, and then what you do is to connect. This thing is new, by the way. This part is new. So what you do is to reconnect the arm over here back onto the underside of the Hyzenthlay arm. Now, it does come with a stand, mainly to prop up the Hyzenthlay 2, but since that is unnecessary, as you can see right here, you could actually plug the stand right into the shield booster, and there you go. the shield booster in a chrome mode. But what is the second alternative, you may ask? Well, you can actually do the iconic pose where the Hyzenthlay holds up its composite shield booster in the open hand. It actually has the correct shape to actually fit the blade in, and since it is tall enough, you can do this. Pretty nice, huh? So if you want to prop this guy up with a stand that it comes with, it does have an adapter for mobile suit mode. So what you need to do is to make sure that the two pegs are facing the front side. So let me remove the composite shield booster from it and basically plug that adapter onto the crotch, like so. Now you have a port to connect the stand into the Hyzenthlay. However, as I find, the Hyzenthlay is even taller than the stand. Why? I don't know. So, to me, this thing is completely obsolete. It's just more of a hindrance more than anything. So that's all the accessories on the TR-6 Hyzenthlay 2. For comparisons, first of all, let's bring in a relatively normal sized Gundam, the Gundam Justice Knight. And as you could see, it's puny compared to the Hyzenthlay 2. And then, let's bring in the meme for size comparing the core Gundam. This time, it's going to be the G3 colors that comes in. Very freaking tiny, don't you agree? So this thing is massive. Absolutely massive. So that's going to do it for part 1 of TR-6 Hyzenthlay 2 review.